Hey everyone, I recently made a Sci-Fi Weapons SFX pack using these awesome tools, and I wanted to share the way I used them, which for me was both really creative and efficient. So let's dive right in. In this sort of project, I usually break up my work into 3 stages. Let's start with the first stage that I call creating building blocks. I'll be making single small-scale sounds that I'll be using later to make larger layered SFX. So in Reaper, you can use item-based effects, which allows me to place a synth on each item, avoiding having to have a huge amount of tracks in the session for each synth. So instead, I use the tracks to divide the sounds into different categories. So let's see what types of sounds we have. So we have charges that will be coming in front of the transient of the sound. We have transients that are going to be the strong short impact in the sound. We have the body sounds that are really going to fill up the majority of the shot sound. Tail sounds that will complement and fade out nicely after the body. And sweeteners, which are different sounds and textures that we can just throw over the whole things and make it pop a bit more. I duplicated the MIDI items I had, and one group I pitched 1 octave up, and the other was pitched 1 octave down. I did it just to have some more variety in the sounds, and separated them in the session using markers. This video is going to focus mainly on workflow, so I won't be diving into the synth this time. Once I'm done with the synth work, it's time to export. Reaper's render window is really powerful and allows for easy batch exporting. Using the selected media items via master option, I can export each of the items separately, and using the wildcard system and some of the file name functions, I can make the export super organized and easy. With just one render, all of the items will be placed in subfolders matching their track's name, which will come in handy later, and the file names will be taken from the track name, automatically numerated, and adding the marker wildcard will show me if the file is high, low, or normally pitched. So we just click the render button once and bam! Everything is ready for step 2, construction. Now it's time to build a sound using the building blocks we made. This part of the process leans heavily on NVK folder items and LKC Variator, 2 amazing Reaper scripts that make this process into what it is. I'll link both of them below. So I have one custom action combining all of the actions that I need to quickly swap through samples, randomly change their properties, and align their peaks. Every time you click it's just so satisfying. So step 1, LKC Variator. This amazing script allows you to randomly change multiple aspects of your sounds like volume, pitch, rate, and much more. Use the normal parameters to taste, but what really makes the magic happen in this case is the file parameter. According to the chance you set using the slider, for this workflow I just choose 100%, this will randomly swap the audio file in the item to a different file from the same folder. So I can stack 4 different sounds of different types, and each of them will be swapped out for a different sound of the same type. This script is just really mind-blowing. Save a preset you like in Variator, and add it to the custom action. Step 2, aligning the sample's peaks. Here, I just use these 2 actions to move the snap offsets to the item's peak, and then align them with each other using that snap offset. Since this is a weapons pack, most of the sounds have a pretty clear transient, and that makes constructing SFX this way super fun and easy. Now we just drag in one sound from each folder, duplicate it as many times as we want, and just click the custom action once and bam! We have tons of new randomized material to work with. At this point I listen to the variations, edit and clean up the ones that I like, and move on to stage 3, organizing and exporting. When I clean up the sounds, I start getting a clearer picture of what kind of sounds I have, what sounds are similar, and how I want to organize and name them. At this point, NVK folder items comes into play. NVK folder items creates empty folder items over the items that overlap. These can help you edit and move groups of files around easily. But most importantly, it has powerful functions when it comes to naming and exporting. Later I'll be able to export all of the sounds under that folder as one sound with ease. In this pack I have groups of sound that are different, but have something in common, like long shots, that all might be longer in length, but have very different textures and sounds. So I bring all of the long shots to the same place and name them using the Rename Advanced script. This handy tool will do most of the naming work for you. It can automatically detect only folder items and then numerate, capitalize, and swap spaces for different options. So just choose a bunch of files, type a name, and voila, they're named. All of the files are considered variations of the same file. So if you change their order, the variation number is automatically updated, which is huge! Once I've got all my sounds named and grouped, I move on to exporting. To do that, I use the folder items render smart script. Using this script allows me to utilize the folder items we created and export them as single files. You could achieve this result using normal regions, but they need to be recreated or updated every time your file changes, even if the change is small. So this is a huge time saver. So let's just select the folder items you want to export, dial in the settings you want, and render. Using the item wildcard gives the folder item's name, which we just chose, to the exported files. Since this is supposed to be an SFX pack, some of the sounds need to be exported as a single file with multiple variations. This is made fast and easy with the sausage file checkbox. Just select the variations you want to have rendered as a single file, click the checkbox, and render. The script will remove the numbers and render the file including the silence between the variations into one file. So that's about it. There are lots of options and functions that I didn't cover, but I wanted to just run through this as a process and share it with you. If you have any questions or you'd like to get an in-depth look into one of these tools specifically, let me know. By the way, you can listen to the final pack on the Artlist site, which I'll also link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.